Welcome to What's Your Skroove, where we get inside the minds of artists, athletes, creators, and musicians who are out in the world pursuing their passions. Welcome, everybody, to episode 2 of What's Your Skroove. Today we have Logan Vandenheuvel. He is sponsored by Skroove. He's a Skroove athlete. He rides for our team. He has a board sponsored by Ronex, which is a great company. And he also has a park sponsor at Action Water Sports. Welcome, Logan.
Yeah, it's good to be here. I've since I heard you guys were starting to do this podcast, I was super excited to get on here.
Stoked to have you here, my friend.
Yeah, dude, for sure. So tell us a little bit about yourself, background, how you got here, all that stuff.
All right, so I'm 23 years old. I was born over in Wisconsin in Kaukauna, just south of Green Bay. Lived there for 19 years, went to NWTC for college for engineering, and that's when I moved over to Holland, Michigan, and got to see West Michigan, and I was hooked.
Really?
This place is awesome. Yeah. And you're 19, 20 years old, so you're just starting to it's filled with breweries over here.
Right.
So as I hit
yeah.
21, it was like, man, this place is awesome. And I never got that lifestyle back in Green Bay. So, it could be just as cool back over there, but I'm hooked over here. So
what made you move? Like what brought you to Michigan?
So when I graduated, I was ready to graduate from NWTC, and I was just looking for jobs. And in prototype design or prototype engineering, it's kind of a specific field to get into. Not a whole lot of companies have a product development lab. So when I got an interview with Johnson Controls at the time, they were doing automotive, and that was just right up my alley. So that's what I did. Is I got an interview there, and then I got an internship, and that led to a full-time position. So I've been there since.
Cool.
Right on. So you came over here. You've been wakeboarding, skiing since how long?
Yeah. I started the whole water sports thing when I was 4 years old.
Okay.
Started with my dad pulling me down the dock with the rope.
Yeah.
And then I got on the boat and then started doing tricks behind that. Just a ski boat, that was his generation of
Right.
the really small one, So that got me through the basics of water skiing. And then once I wanted that bigger wake, after I got into wakeboarding, then I kind of had to find the friends that were into water sports that had the wakeboard boats, which that came along with competitions and just, being in the water sports industry, it came easy.
Right. So you came over here and kind of got connected at Placid Wake Park, right? Started like wakeboarding there.
Yeah. So when I was back in Wisconsin, we had one wake park, and that was really the only cable park I was introduced to that, and I didn't even know these things really existed. And so when I moved over to Michigan, I was like, man, I'm moving away from the only wake park or cable park.
Yeah.
Now I'm moving away from my dad's, boat. I can't wakeboard behind his boat even, and I can't wakeboard at cable parks because there's nothing over here. So that's when I jumped on wakescout.com. It's basically a website that you can look for anything water in water sports. And that's when I found Placid Wake Park. So, and luckily it was 20 minutes from my house.
Yeah. Dude,
what are the chances?
Yeah, no kidding.
So I called up there one day and Scott answered and he's like, yeah, dude, come on out and ride. Let's do it. So I did. I ran up there and it was like immediately just the vibe up there.
Yeah.
Scott, Scott and Deanna were out there. I think my buddy Aaron Leesman was out there, and it just clicked. Like the features were a lot bigger than the ones at Nordic. But
Right. Okay.
It was just
Was
fun.
Nordic the one back in Wisconsin?
Yeah, Nordic Wake Park was the one back in Wisconsin.
What was the system like there that you were running on?
Both system 2s.
Really?
Yeah, so both pretty beginner cables for really learning.
Right.
But, I mean, that system 2 offers so much from just beginner. Like, you can learn stuff on it, just like from getting up on the wakeboard all the way to really, Slingshot Wake has their main park, and Ronex has Lake Ronex. They all have system 2s there. They don't have full sizes.
Really?
Because when you go and practice a trick, you can stop that cable. You're the only one riding it. You can pick them up, and you can do that trick again.
Really hone your skill.
Yeah.
So, you came over from Wisconsin. You fell in love with Michigan right away. The wake scene welcomed you in. So, what year did you say you moved here?
2014.
So, since you've been here, because wakeboarding is just it's been such a, it was in the X Games and it wasn't, and now, is it a part of the X Games again now?
I don't know.
There's,
They have the real wake edits and everything, but I don't know if they're doing.
Yeah, so real wake edits are in X Games right now.
Okay.
They also have done Mastercraft Throwdown, which is also kind of an X Games thing.
That was in
Grand Rap?
Yeah.
Millennium
What was that
Park.
Millennium Park? Yeah, we were there for that.
Yeah. So they did that again, I believe, this year. Just trying to work back into it. It was in the X Games years ago,
Right.
Like
and
early
I
2000s.
just don't think it worked. You know, it didn't draw enough money, it didn't draw the crowds.
Well, that's what I was wondering. So, what have
Yeah.
you seen, like, as the scene, like the wakeboarding scene developed? I mean, what's changing? Where do you see it going? Or, like, you know, since you've moved here, and I mean, what do you see for the future of like wakeboarding?
I mean, because you went to Placid, and like a little background, we're familiar with people at Placid, Scott and Deanna.
Yep.
They, you know, had Placid, and now you guys opened up Action Wake Park, which is a huge state-of-the-art
gorgeous.
wake facility
Yeah.
here in Hudsonville, Michigan.
there's
so
nothing like it. I mean, it's
No.
quite a facility.
Yeah, and even pros that come from all over, you know, just the quality that Jerry, the owner of Action,
Right.
put into, you know, when he had the plans to build Action Wake Park. Everything's just awesome out there. You know, I've been to other wake parks, and every wake park has, you know, their niche.
Right.
There's something that keeps you coming back. Action Wake Park just has the quality,
Yeah,
you know,
it's
and
gorgeous.
also just the very family environment, you know. You know, they take safety very seriously. Everybody's wearing vests, everyone's wearing helmets, like. That's really enforced, and they have so much rental gear and like some of the best teachers to get you up on the
That's
water.
good, yeah.
You know,
That encompasses that whole experience of like Action
Absolutely.
Water and that. So, yeah.
yeah. But
go ahead.
yeah, no. Back to your question about where I see it going. I mean, back when I was in Wisconsin, wakeboarding at Nordic, that was, like I said, it was the only cable park I knew.
Right.
You know, in the whole world. And then once I got more into cable wakeboarding, I started, you know, searching more parks out. I want to get different stuff, but still there was nothing in the Midwest. There was nothing really north of Cincinnati. Was the only other wake park that we had any of these northern states. Other
Yeah,
than
we were
that.
there. We've been to that one. That's a cool place.
That's a really cool place.
Wake Nation?
Yeah. And so that was kind of the drive that you had to do. And from Green Bay, that's like a 9-10 hour drive, you know, down there. And who's doing that at 18 to go wakeboarding? So yeah, really cool to have Placid. But then once I moved over to Placid, I thought, wow, if this one's 20 minutes away, where are the rest of them?
Yeah.
And really, that was kind of it at that time. But since then, it's been growing a lot. I mean, we went from having just Placid Wake Park in Michigan to now having Action Wake Park.
Yeah.
And now within driving distance, Chicago or nearby Chicago has 2 full-size cables.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
they have the Quarry, and then West Rock just built their full-size this past year. And then we have still Cincinnati in Ohio. And then there's word of some maybe going up in Indiana.
Really?
So yeah, I think in the
growing
next
for sure.
I think in the next 5-10 years we're gonna see a lot more full sizes around.
That's sick.
Yeah, it's exciting, especially being so into it.
Right.
How many
Seeing the
how many
sport
cable
blossom.
parks have you been to?
I think, well,
I mean, you've hit a good few, haven't you?
Yeah, it's starting to grow pretty quick.
Yeah.
I think I've been to 7 of them.
Have you?
And like I said, each park has its own like
Je ne
thing
sais
about
quoi.
it. Yeah. Yeah, whether it's just features like different jumps that they have, the level of difficulty those jumps are, the speed that they're pulling you at, even counterclockwise and clockwise cables makes a huge difference. You can have the same
think of that,
features,
yeah.
but as soon as you start doing laps the other way, it's so weird. It's just it gets you out of your comfort zone.
Now, I want to touch on, because you were just over in Europe.
Yep.
And you went to a cable park over there.
Yeah. What's that like?
Yeah, what was that experience? How was that?
Yeah, that was sweet because cable parks, that's where they came from.
Yep.
Oh,
Because
really?
yeah.
Over like in Europe?
Yep. So over in Europe, they're really
Because they don't have like lakes everywhere like they do. Like, is that why?
that, and they're just like they're totally like crazy about pollution.
Really?
So
Really?
a guy told me over there, any boat like inland can only be like electric, so it can't be gas.
Really?
So all
Crazy
their lakes,
regulations.
yeah, all their
We're over
lakes
in
are-
America, just ruining everything.
So there's definitely a huge no-no of throwing a huge, giant, wakeboard. boat. That's not happening.
Sucking
Yeah,
gas
just a
down.
huge V8.
Yeah, so that's where they started. So there's a lot of history behind those wake parks. A lot of
Interesting.
you see a lot of different things happening on those cables too. Whereas here you see a lot of wakeboarding, like that's just what they're there for. But over there you see slalom skiers. You see people like
hitting
there's
jumps
people
and stuff.
I haven't seen people hit jumps on slalom skis, but just
be
out
awesome.
there to just ride.
So that's the only way that they can really ski? Or-
Yeah.
I feel like
Really?
I mean, do they have to use like a winch or something to get up? Because I feel like, I mean, when you saw them ski behind a boat, you drag. I mean, because the wakeboard cables don't seem to move that fast. Is it the same speed and stuff, or do they just crank it up?
No, they'll go the same speed.
Really?
I would think that there was probably some times where if it's just slalom skiing, they'll turn it up to like 30 or 40 miles
But I guess
an
you're
hour.
coming off the dock too, so it's not like you're in the water.
Yeah, I think it's just going 20 as you're up and skiing. You know, is it pretty slow?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's kneeboarding, there's slalom skiing, there's regular two ski skiing.
Tubing.
Yeah. I think that's a pretty American thing. Just blow up some big old tube. Whip your grandkids behind it on the water.
Take off a kicker.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
So I know we were talking a little before, but like the language barrier, like, you know, with all these different riders and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably an interesting dynamic.
They laughed quite a bit at me. Just normal conversations they just couldn't comprehend. And I mean, I'm not one to talk. I don't know German.
Right.
So,
And you're in their country.
So I'm not like, you should know my language.
Yeah.
But no, when I went over there originally for work, and that was nice because English is kind of that business language. So while you're at work, you know, you have a lot of people that'll speak English, but once you get outside of work, dude.
Beer.
Yeah, exactly. That's a big one over here. Yeah, that was cool actually over there. At some breweries, they would just keep on refilling your beer until you put that coaster on top of your cup.
Oh, really?
What do you set it like over the top, like to mean you're done? Like,
Yeah,
really?
like cut me off. Yeah,
Need that in America.
Yeah, I know. Really quick service. So like you'd walk in, he'd grab you 4 beers or whatever right away, and then one of the coasters, every time you guys would get a refill, he'd put like a dash for every refill on your coaster.
keep track of your beers.
Yeah. So then one night we went out as like through work, and we're like, yeah, like let's go get some beers. Let's go try a new place or whatever. And I think we got dashes all the way around.
Really?
Oh my god.
How was the beer? Were you drinking American beer or like a lot of like
No, it was all beer from over there.
some Hefeweizen, like
there
some
was
wheat?
like Weiss beer. There was this alt beer. They do a kind of a funny thing over there. So if you want like a light beer, they'll mix it with either Sprite or Coca-Cola.
What?
Yeah. So some of their darker beers, they'll mix with 50-50 with Coke. And then with some of their lighter beers, if you're like, yeah, I'll take,
That's so strange.
you know, whatever I want it lighter, they'll mix it with Sprite.
Did you
It gives
try
it-
that?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah, it really was. So I've been kind of wanting to try it over here, but I don't know what beer to really try it with.
Yeah.
You know.
Did you drink it out of a boot?
No boots over there that I drank out of.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Not even the glass boot
They're
or a real
definitely
boot,
over
like
here.
crazy
Yeah.
Australian guys. So I mean, it sounds like you're definitely like an adventurous guy. You're always up for the challenge. I mean, we did the summer solstice thing with you, and we did a lot of. Dude, that was a cool thing. But so when it comes to, because you're obviously hustling, like you're killing it. I mean, you have 3 different sponsors, and we know how passionate you are about this, and like seeing you ride is always awesome because I mean you just keep pushing it and pushing it. But how does tell us about like building a personal brand? Because I mean, you film videos, you have all your equipment, you edit the content, so you're a content creator who's, you know, trying to make it and pursue it. So you're building your brand while, you know, trying to get these big sponsorships. Like, what's it like trying to do all that different, you know?
I mean, it's fun. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, I think a lot of people live by just learn.
Right.
So when you're buying new equipment, when you're buying new cameras, you're using new editing software, you're just constantly learning. So it's cool because you always get that sense of like accomplishment. But you also have your idols that, you know, you want to get to that point. You have these filmers that these wakeboard videos, they're top notch.
Yeah.
The edits
Man,
are
I want
just
to go
gorgeous.
I want to go do those shots.
Yeah.
So you go down to Action for the day and you just try to get those, and sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. But either way, you're out there learning. So, yeah, it's just a fun, I guess, like just path to take.
Right.
You know.
Being in that community, so like people help each other, like film edits. You have buddies that be like, all right, we need to get this shot, and like, you know, do you do stuff like that?
Yeah, we've done a lot of different filming since Action Wake Park opened.
Right.
They had a really good filmer their first year, and now we have another filmer coming up this year to do all the edits and promotional videos for Action Wake Park and water sports. And then even outside of that, you know, he can't be out there every day. So we have people riding doubles with GoPros, or we have 4K cameras. You know, you're on top of the tower shooting down at pictures and,
Sniper lens.
yeah. And you'll go out there with 3 guys and you'll just switch off. All right, you 2 ride for an hour and I'll film, and then you just switch off. And you get a lot of film because nobody wants to be the one really filming. You want to ride.
Right.
You want to get yourself on film. So,
but it's a cool way to progress each other too. You know,
no, absolutely, especially when you know somebody's watching you. You're riding for the camera instead of just riding for you. You want to push it. Cool. Yeah.
I think we should touch on like how we met Logan and how he got involved with.
Oh yeah, we definitely
how he got involved with Skroove. How Logan got involved with Skroove. So we can take you back in time a little bit and think
the year was 19.
It feels like it.
I want to say 2015.
It was their last season over in Allendale, I think, right?
Yeah, and that's when we were still Serendipity. For people that might not even know, Skroove was formerly Serendipity.
Different brand name.
FKA, formerly known as.
Same family values, different name.
Still have that Serendipity shirt.
Yeah,
the original, the one that you won in the story. So tell the story. So then,
all right. So we came out to West Michigan, Grand Rapids area for like the Meyer State Games. Is something they have out here. Sponsored like a longboard event on Friday, and then sponsored a wakeboarding event on Saturday. And we called up who happened to be Scott at Placid Wake Park. I just called like Placid Wake Park numbers, like, hey, I saw you guys are hosting the Meyer State Games. Have this brand of clothes, and we'd love to come sponsor.
How much to sponsor it?
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, all right, yeah, like $50." I'm like, "All right, cool, yeah, all right, we'll be there."
It was so like not.
It was just like so chill.
I love how Scott's.
I don't know. Like,
He was like kind of
out.
surprised that like we wanted to come sponsor the event because we were the only vendor there. It was just like the riders at Placid Wake Park, and
no doubt,
just like kind of their families there to watch them. It really wasn't like anything too big.
Cool, because the longboard was Meyer State Games, that event too, and there were sponsors lined up because that's how we found all the events. So there was booths and booths and booths. So we're like, oh, it's probably like this at every event, and that's what forwarded that phone call.
Scott's like, $50. I'm like,
which was cool that they
it was cool
because they didn't have sponsors and they didn't have to, so that worked out.
So he's like, all right. I mean, we came out there Saturday and set up our tent and everything, and our table, selling T-shirts, just talking with everybody, meeting people. I don't know. Then we just got talking to Logan. He's like, oh, dude, yeah, this is cool stuff, and he seemed interested. I don't know how it came about. I think we gave shirts for like first, second, and third.
We donated some prizes.
We donated some swag for that, and then I don't know how it came about. We're like, dude, we have this duck suit, and this would be like a really sweet video if you just hit this kicker and just boosted as high as you could.
I think we were just joking, like, dude, you should. And he's like, yeah.
I'll do it. I was like, okay.
Seriously?
And it was like, all right, cool. We'll get the duck suit. So we got the duck suit out of the car. Logan suited up in it. We threw a T-shirt over you.
We will link that video in the description, by the way, because there is a video. Like it's like terrible quality because we didn't have any good cameras then. But yes, it happened.
Yeah, that was a super fun day. Was there cable riding and boat riding that day, or was it just a cable car?
They did have the boat because I remember they had the drones going on the little like ski lake next. Across,
yeah, there was boat riding.
Yeah,
that was a cool event.
Yeah, we were just sitting and we had like one camera on shore, and I was like sitting in the water with the GoPro.
Yeah,
but that was so sweet. It was just like so serendipitous. You're like, I was like, dude, you should hit that kicker with this duck suit. And you're like, all right, yeah, cool. They were like,
absolutely.
They're like, dude, this kid's awesome. Let's throw a T-shirt on him and give him some gear. Like, all right, we can go out there and do it. And you went out there and boosted all that thing so high.
You got some air too. I remember like, oh man, that's sweet.
I'm like, I gotta send it for these.
Yeah, they're gonna send it.
I'm hoping to know for a while. This will be fun.
And then that just kind of kicked off our relationship, and then ever since that, we just stayed in contact. And you had different events, and we ended up giving you gear, and then brought you onto the team. So
even with you guys on the other side of the state, 2.5 hours away.
Yeah.
But still, we connect. Fairly often. But we make that we keep that relationship, which is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really been good to know
we,
you guys.
We have a good time for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm also looking forward to in a few weeks your birthday party.
Yeah,
dude.
That'll be super fun. That's 4 years.
4
now,
years.
Right?
I can't believe it.
Yeah, Skroove. And that was I want to say it was 2015 when we met you. So
I would think so.
And Logan was around since Serendipity. So not a lot of people. I don't even think a lot of people, our followers now, know that Serendipity existed.
It was a thing.
Wow. That shirt's vintage.
Yeah, dude, you keep that Serendipity T-shirt, frame it, it'd be worth a lot of money someday.
So another cool thing that we might as well throw in there and show Logan some love on. So he's way smarter than we are. He's one of those guys who gets all the engineering side of things.
This is going.
But Logan's like, so we obviously through the beer mitten and everything over the years, we love like craft beer and going out and just having a good time. and we always wanted our own bottle opener, and we had talked about this, but never like put the design portion into it. And then one day Logan was like, "Hey, dude, like you guys, would you be interested in a bottle opener?" Or did you have the prototype?
No, we were doing a photo shoot at Holland State Park, and he goes, "Dude, I have something for you and Tyler."
Yes.
And he showed me this little plastic.
It's like a little die cut, right?
Yeah, little our logo on a key ring. I was like, dude, that is super. Like he just surprised us with it. Just like had a couple.
Awesome.
Yeah, he gave it to us, and I was like, dude, this is so cool. Thanks for making this. And I was like, dude, you know what? Me and Tyler have always talked about having like our logo as a bottle opener. And I was like, if you made this, like, could you like work on that? And you're like, oh yeah, for sure. And like you went
Wasn't
home.
that it? Like nothing else was really said.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, like let me know what you come up with or whatever. And you went home like that night, and I'm pretty sure drew it up and figured out like the angle that the bottle opener had to be at for it to work. And like, I don't know, I saw you like a week or two later, and you had like the first prototype made up.
I was so excited to give him to you.
Dude, that and it was awesome. And then it just kept getting refined and refined, and now they're for sale. Skroove.com.
But that was Logan's like mastermind.
Yeah,
he like made that little keychain. They were like, "Oh, dude, like a bottle opener would be cool." Yeah. And then like he just went home and like did it,
brought it to life.
And brought it to life. So that was all Logan. So next time you see one of those bottle openers,
you can thank him.
Go back open a cold beer. Yeah.
Tweet him and be like, "Dude, thank you for opening my beer." Show him some love.
So he's a man of many talents. You know, wakeboards,
right.
but also like we were saying. A creator with video.
That's right.
And he's got the mind of like an engineer that created the bottle opener for Skroove.
That's right. He's got every facet behind it. All right. I want to take a quick intermission, and then we'll bounce back in.
Yep.
Cool.
Reset our cameras. Fill up our coffee. Down Patrol Coffee by Skroove.
www.skroove.com. And we're back.
All right. So let's kick it off with riding for Onyx and kind of that experience. Pros that you've met. Action Wake Park events, just different boat shows and stuff like that. So kind of dive into that if you
Yeah. So my second season at Action Wake Park, I was still kind of scouting for that board sponsorship.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I had you guys as clothing, Action as kind of my park sponsorship. Sure. And I've kind of always wanted to ride for Onyx. That was kind of my first wakeboard, and it was just always in the back of my head as that brand. That, man, once I ride for Onyx, I'll be super happy.
Right. Yeah.
So I was out at the park one day, and this guy that works at Action, Josh, he said, "Dude, do you have a board sponsor yet?" And I was like, "No, I don't know what board I was riding then." But he's like, "All right, well, I'm gonna give a guy a call because you should have a board sponsor."
Right.
So that's what happened, and then that day I talked with Eric Scripp, which was the rep for Onyx at the time. And I was like, man, I was kind of nervous to talk to him. I was just like, this guy's a big deal, the rep of Onyx Wakeboards. Right. So he's like, yeah, dude, just call him, just talk to him. He knows you're coming. I'm like, or he knows you're calling.
Right.
So I gave him a call on the way to work one day, and I was just like, hey, I'm Logan Vandenheuvel. I kind of said who I was, and I was just like, I don't want to really ask, hey, sponsor me.
Right.
It seems really cliche to say it, but no, he was really cool, and he's like, absolutely, dude. I've heard really good things about you at the park. It seems like you're really pushing the sport and the riding at Action Wake Park, and we'd love to set you up with some gear. So, not a week later, he was quick with it. He sent out a bag, board, boots, shirt.
That's so cool.
It was awesome. It was like, wow, this is super cool.
Was that 2016 or was that this year?
No, 2016. Because then this year, Eric left the rep position, and then Travis Robinson started.
Okay.
And he's the rep for Ronix and like Radar skis and stuff like that. So met him this year at Boat Show, and that's super cool. Boat Show is an awesome time.
Yeah.
You get to meet pro athletes, reps for brands, and you get to see all the new stuff coming out. Yeah. So I met Travis then, and that just transitioned over super easy. Awesome guys, both really cool guys. And Travis is actually from Wisconsin too,
really?
So we can relate a little bit on that. Yeah. I think now he lives down in Florida, but yeah, really cool guy. He makes it up to Action a few times a year, and we'll just catch up a little bit. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Now, what pros have you had the experience of riding with?
This past year, actually, Ronix had like a demo day. They came out, they laid all their boards out. Really cool day. Jake Plott came out that day, and then so did Eric Ruck. Eric Ruck is like, he's been around for a while, so he was doing some filming, and just an awesome guy to talk to and ride with. I rode doubles with him, where that was a super cool experience.
Yeah,
you're riding doubles with a guy that's been, pro for years.
You've been around forever.
Yeah, and actually, now that I think of it, Eric Ruck, when I said that my first board was a Ronix wakeboard, Eric Ruck, that was his pro model.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah. So it was kind of cool. Now that I'm on Ronix and stuff like that, I'm riding with him.
Right.
It was just really cool.
That is sweet.
So yeah, Jake Plot, Eric Ruck, Parks Bonifay has been out to the park for a few times. And then you just get the pros from other board brands that are at Boat Show that are promoting their boards or their gear. So yeah.
That's kind of funny because like a wakeboard pro, like unless you know, like you're in the ecosystem, like we know who they are.
Yeah.
But you know, they're just walking around Boat Show and like, you know, you might
Like,
not
who's
know
this
like,
bro?
Yeah. And it's Parks Bonifay with it, you know, and get just right next to you is legend, you know, that's so crazy.
I know. And like I always thought about how crazy it would be to just like run into somebody in public, you know, like a pro wakeboarder that I know, because I don't think like pro wakeboarders are as recognized as like pro basketball players.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff like that.
It's kind of like an ideal level of fame. You can still go to like the grocery store and not get mobbed, but you're still like up, you know.
In the wakeboard community, you're huge. I mean, wakeboarding is kind of really super niche. Like the people that follow it,
for sure.
Even like smaller than a lot of different action sports. You know what I'm saying?
Like that's what you want, to be known in your community, but still you gotta live your life.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
It's such a cool industry to be in. Such a cool industry. But yeah, one night after Boat Show, I was out and I remember I was walking into the Bob. I'll never forget this. I was walking into the Bob downtown Grand Rapids to meet up with some of the guys from Action. Yeah. And I had a feeling that they were out with some of the pros that came to the Boat Show. And I just like bumped into Parks Bonifay. And I was like, what's up, dude? You know, I didn't know, you know, he doesn't know. He's like, oh, what's up, man? I was like, I didn't know what to say. I was like,
you're Parks Bonifay.
I was kind of like starstruck a little bit. And he's like, how you doing, dude? Are you coming to hang out with us? And I was like, wow, like, does he even know who I am?
Right. Yeah.
You know, and I was like, yeah, dude, I'm on my way in. I was like, you coming back? And he's like, yeah, I'll be up there in a little bit. And then we hung out with Parks all night. It was
sweet.
awesome.
That's awesome.
You know, it's one thing to hang out with him at like Boat Show in his environment,
right?
But just like
have a
Just
beer
to
with
chill,
you guys.
kick it.
Yeah. And we talked about like winch spots and stuff like that all night, and even stuff outside of wakeboarding.
Yeah, for sure.
We had a beer with Shane that one night. Like, what was that after?
Yeah, that was after the Boat Show
That-
too.
yeah.
We were at O'Toole's that night.
Yeah, dude, that was
dude,
a good ass night.
You just get to know, like, kind of, you know, everyone puts their pants on, you know, one leg
Yeah,
at a time.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's once you sit down with these guys, it's really cool. It's a cool experience.
Both of those guys are cool.
Yeah,
Real
just
cool.
connect with them. Yeah. So, what do you enjoy riding most? Like boat, cable, winch?
I've always enjoyed cable. Yeah, ever since I started riding at Nordic Wake Park, cable's just awesome. The progression is really fast. I'm very hesitant to say that the crashes don't hurt as bad, but you get pretty rocked riding cable, especially when you're doing air tricks and you're cutting out. If you catch any kind of edge, or if you're going huge off an XL kicker, I mean, there's
a lot of features like behind a boat. You know what I mean? It's
you
don't have that dynamic as much.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Each one you're going at a high speed if you're cutting out against that the point of pull. So, but I definitely like cable. I think cable you can really express your riding style a little bit more. With boat you can do your grabs, your style. You can do either go big like Rusty Malinowski, or you can be really technical. But at the park, you do one lap and you hit just 7 different features. You could maybe hit 7 different. But over in Germany they had like 15 features. You know, that you can just hit. And you're doing different stuff on every feature, whereas a wake you can only you know do your tricks off that wake. So yeah, cable wakeboarding is where it's at. That's for sure.
Yeah, you can get so many hits, and I mean the ability to learn tricks and that process just gets sped up, you know, versus boat, and even winch.
And there's
dragging that thing back every
less
time.
variable. Like you have to have a good driver for but like you know what I mean. There's a lot of things when you're on the lake or like behind a boat.
Yeah. At the wake park, you know it's always going to be butter. You know, it's especially at Action Wake Park. It's like surrounded where the wind always comes from. It's all tall trees. So the biggest chop we'll ever get is little ripples.
Right.
So when you get like even low winds, it's just glass out there, which is so cool.
You were telling us earlier at Nordic how you and your buddy would go there and just shred after it closed.
Yeah, Matt Larson. So we met my second summer out at Nordic Wake Park, I think when I was like 17. And I rode there a few times, and then finally I'm like, dude, I got to work here. Like, I want to be here more than I am. And so even it was like an hour and 10-minute drive into Nordic. You know, I worked like every other Saturday, so very, very part-time. But I remember we'd close at like 6 o'clock at night, and then we'd ride till sunset.
Yeah.
I mean, we just switch off with the system too. Awesome. That's so cool to do.
Yeah.
You know, nobody was out there, and we just switch off and just Yep, we're not leaving until you land this trick. And we didn't.
Scales.
We didn't. There was a lot of late nights there, but it was well worth it because that turned into a really cool relationship with me and Matt. We'll see each other down in nationals. We saw each other in Orlando for National Points Chase 2 years ago. And it's just cool to run into each other and bring back those memories.
That is cool.
Yeah.
And you did something similar to that at Placid too, right?
Yeah. Same situation, different person. So me and Aaron, after we rode together for a little while, every like Wednesday morning we'd wake up, break at dawn, we'd get out there, and there were some chilly mornings for sure. But yeah, we would ride, just me and him. We'd pull each other, and we would not do anything like comfortable. We'd always get out of our comfort zone. And that like progressed me a ton. I mean, everything with especially rails, just doing backside 180s onto the rails and backside spins and switch tricks, landing blind, all that stuff. It was like every day I was checking new stuff off the list.
Dude, that's awesome.
And it's very easy to get in a habit of like going and riding and you're doing the same stuff because that's what you're comfortable with, you know? So those mornings were really crucial at Nordic, those nights and the mornings at Placid.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What during the summer, during the season, are you just wakeboarding 7 days a week?
No.
What does that look like?
It's a little bit unfortunate because I work second shift, so I go in at 3 p.m. When it's prime summer hours, action opens at, I believe, noon or 11, and then they have their hour of slow ride time for beginners, getting them on the water. So I'll get max an hour or two to ride before work. But other than that, which is kind of nice because that's an hour or two to myself.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's in work.
Nobody's there.
It's just by myself. So that's really cool, but I kind of wish I'd be able to ride, you know, because then you're never filming. You don't everybody's there to film. So you're riding a lot, but you don't have anything on film.
Right.
Yeah.
So when Saturday, Sunday come around, you're ready to film. You're ready to get after it. But yeah.
And then what is so somebody that's not familiar with wakeboarding and the competition side of it, what does that look like? How does the competition set up, and like what is the end goal? Nationals. But how do you get there?
Yeah,
what's
so
the process?
National points chase competition you have to qualify for.
Okay.
So you qualify by your park. So Action Wake Park will send, I think it's like top 5 from each division.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if you have a super loaded park, I mean, some parks down in like Orlando, they'll have tons of people in each class. So up at Action Wake Park, we'll have our open men's class, our boys class, pro men's, women's, kids, all different classes. So we have a really good, you know, we have a lot of people going down for nationals. But competitions are cool. We do the National Points Chase qualifier there. There's features only where you're just hitting the kicker, the rails and stuff like that. And then there's also traditional where you're doing more air tricks where you're not using any feature or anything to get off the water. You're just using that tension of the rope. Right. You kind of flick and then it just sends you because you're getting pulled from so high up.
Right.
And I mean, I'm still just getting my feet wet with those things. Those can really mess you up if you come short. But
so there's like 2 or 3 categories that.
Yeah. So there's traditional and features only so 2 different competitions. But then there's also different classes. Open men's like 19. It's all by age range.
Okay.
19 to 29, and then there's masters 30 plus.
Oh wow.
And then there's pro men's where kind of anybody can enter into.
Okay.
Really?
So yeah, at Action Wake Park, I'd say every class is just fun to watch. You see the boys. Like you see people that you've just met last year and now they're throwing down like backflips, tantrum to blinds, and you're like, this kid's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
We have these brothers from Chicago that wakeboard at the quarry, and they're 3 brothers that come out like every weekend. They're committed.
So they're coming up from Chicago to compete.
Yeah.
Is it like the farthest competitors are coming or what?
We have 2 girls from Cincinnati that come.
Okay.
Oh, really?
And what is Cincinnati from here? 5 hours?
Yeah, probably
something like that.
Is Cincinnati? Do they not host the points chase?
They didn't this year, so that's why they had to come up here. I think
They have a big park there.
Yeah.
I mean, a really nice park.
They definitely do. I don't know why they didn't host it this year, but yeah. So those 2 girls came from there, and those 2 girls shred.
Really?
Do they?
Oh my gosh. I think one's 9, one's 10 or 11 or something like that. And it's insane. They're doing like 360s, 540s, and I'm like, what? Yeah. I'm just starting to wakeboard.
Right. Yeah.
But that's what's cool about cable parks popping up everywhere is you can get into it so young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need the $100,000 boat. You know what I mean? Like that's a huge barrier to entry for a lot of people who want to get into it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's really cool. So you talked about, and speaking of the boat, I don't know, just made me think. You said with the cable, like talking about, catching edges and things like that.
Yeah.
I know you've had a lot of like small injuries over the years, and that have definitely, so when it comes to like some adversity that you've faced since you've been wakeboarding, talk about a little bit about that. What's some of the big adversities and how you fought that, and where you're going.
Yeah. So as a wakeboarder, you'll see that the first things that go are your knees.
Right.
You'll see almost every pro wakeboarder wearing knee braces. And me, I've been pretty lucky with snowboarding, doing a little bit of racing dirt bikes and stuff like that. And all my wakeboarding, that especially because I like catching the most air. I love going there. So my knees, I know they're going to be shot pretty soon, but I'm just kind of living it while it is. That was kind of my mentality up till this year. But then I'm like, I want to wakeboard. I don't want to just like be done at 26, 27. I want to ride with my son someday when I'm 40, 45 or whatever, still on the water.
Yeah.
So no, I've been definitely hitting the gym on the off season these last few months, and hope to continue until next season and just really build up all that muscle around my knees. I've had some crashes trying double flips when you're coming down on your tricep or your side or your shoulder or whatever it is. That really puts you out for a while. I tore my tricep last summer.
Oh man.
And it sucked. It was all black and blue down to my elbow. So I went in and just kind of saw what I could do about it. And he just said, just let it rest.
Oh, that's the worst.
You can't do anything about it. So yeah, he said 10 days for sure. You got to take, he's like, I would do like 2 or 3 weeks, but he's like, you better not get on the water, pull anything with that tricep for sure 10 days. So on day 10, I was out at action doing just everything.
So taking that time off though, like, is there a noticeable difference in things that you kind of had down if you take time off, or is it more or less the trade-off of you're just not out there training? You know what I mean? Which is it?
It was just because I'm not out there training.
Right.
It really is. I mean, there's guys that go out there every single day. They're riding every single day. And at Action, they'll switch the features up sometimes. So I went into some competitions this year where I would take a break for my knee or take a break for my arm.
Right.
And they have competitions like every other week. This year it was every week. So you can't take much more than 4 days off
Really
without being
out.
lost out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, and injuries definitely do set you back quite a bit.
Yeah.
And you just don't have that time to rest, especially with a short season like we have down in Orlando. You have 12 months out of the year to ride.
Yeah.
Up here you have 5 or 6 maybe.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. So
what does the future look like for Logan? I mean, what is your dream? Is it to become a professional wakeboarder? Is it to pursue something else?
So yeah, that was how it was when I was riding up at Placid, when Action Wake Park opened up, and I was like, man, this is my road into like being a pro. Being a pro with like full-time job and adult responsibilities, it's tough to do. You kind of have to really commit to the sport. And you should, to be a professional athlete in anything.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah, absolutely. So I kind of now have switched that and transitioned more into, I want to still be very, very involved in the wakeboard industry. But I want to really take like my filming to the next level. Maybe because I can't be the pro, I want to capture the people that
be in that ecosystem.
I want to capture, the people that are really committed and just capture their passion for the sport. So that's kind of what I've been working on lately, is still staying doing the tricks that I'm doing and getting that feeling of landing first tricks and being out there with friends and stuff like that, but not pushing it as hard as I was.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That would be sweet. Do some X Games real wake edits.
Yeah.
Get to connect with some pros.
Gosh,
See, that would be a blast.
Yeah, I was just talking to Justin Worrell. He's a filmer down in Orlando.
Okay.
And he gave me some tips. He filmed with the GH4 that I'm filming with now.
I gotcha.
And yeah, he gave me some tips about it, and I'm just like, man, I want to do edits like you.
Yeah.
You just see these edits come out for all these real wake edits, and you're like, dude, I just want to produce those.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. So
I think it's just like that we found too. Is just the more you do that stuff, like you know what I mean. The more videos you make, the more you just like creative goes far, but so does it's just like anything. Like the hours you put in, like you just little things that you had to focus on before just become human nature, and
that's how it is. I mean, with everything,
Right.
you just got to get out and do it. You guys know that with your brand with Skroove, you guys know that you're not going to build a brand from home.
Right.
You're not going to build a brand from sitting on your butt on the
Yeah.
computer or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You guys got to get out, promote, and you guys learn from all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Everything's a lesson.
Yeah, you guys are committed. I mean, you guys are all over. You guys what? You guys went to Colorado?
Yeah.
A few weeks ago or a month?
It was
ago?
a little over a month ago.
September, mid-September.
Okay.
So yeah, just over a month.
And how was that? Was that like a trip out there for like, what was like the goal out there?
We had some Sky Miles and we're like, dude, let's go. Well, because we have Fran, the man band too.
I thought you took her out
and we want to, and we're like, well, we had these Sky Miles, so we're like,
Yeah.
okay, and our schedule is super like, it's just, we'll have an opening and we'll just get booked for a long period of time just with, Skroove stuff. And September was like, oh, we kind of have a week where we don't really need to be doing anything. Right. So, you're the same way. You love to create content and we love to create cool content. So we're like, how about this? Use our Sky Miles, go scout Colorado. And then, because we want to do a big trip there. And one of our good buddies, or two of our good buddies, Zach Gibson and our buddy Aaron Snyder. And Aaron's an extremely talented videographer. I mean, this guy's just put out some amazing stuff. So we're like, let's go out, scout out the area, get to know what it's like,
with them.
make some content, make some movies with him, go hiking, and just, get a little taste for it. So we flew out there and we made a bunch of cool videos, met a bunch of interesting people, fell in love with Denver.
Yeah.
And now we're like, we had ski and snowboard trip. We want to take the van out there.
Dude, for sure. Yeah.
Camp, but like that's something I'm super excited for. Just camp in each state along the way, just pull over, sleep in Fran, and then just get there. And so that was a blast. So, I mean, what was your favorite part about that trip?
Dude, I don't know. Hiking, like the 60 seconds. People always ask us what our favorite 60 seconds is.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's kind of always changing because we're always creating new ones, right? But the one that we created out there when we were hiking,
it was cool.
It's sweet. It was just really cool. It was an awesome experience, super beautiful, and it was just fun to create that and hang out with Aaron and Zach and be able to create content with them.
And the culture out there is so cool. Like it's very young. It reminded me. I mean, like literally everywhere you turned, it was just a bunch of young people, and like it was there. Shops on every corner, like there's all these different pizza joints, and the one thing that I thought was like super interesting was the Midwestern presence out there. My buddy Aaron was telling us, he's like, dude, we have like a group of like 20 or 30 friends that all went to like MSU that are in Denver. He's like, it's Midwest is huge out there. So I thought that was cool, and people still tribing together from
absolutely
their home area.
Now you said we were talking off camera about this winter and snowboarding, and you said that you would rather go up to Mount Bohemia. You said, dude, like that is awesome. Like Breckenridge obviously would be cool,
right?
But Mount Bohemia in the UP, because you went there last year. You said that place is dope, right?
Yeah, I went there with my buddy Kyle. And he was like, dude, we got to get up there. I know it's a long drive for you.
Yeah. Well, how far is it from
I didn't go straight from here. So like I said, I'm from Wisconsin. So I went back for that Christmas break.
Okay.
So I was already in Green Bay. Man, I can't remember how far it was. Maybe 5 hours or something like that, all the way up. Because it's it's at the tip. It's not Copper Harbor at the tip, but it's past, what's up there? Houghton.
Yeah.
Marquette, is that? Or
Marquette's I think at the
lower.
bottom, but like
I
it's
think it's
over.
What college is up there in Houghton?
Northern?
Maybe.
Is it Northern
I
Michigan?
think I was reading somewhere too, like they have under like these, and this could be wrong. Somebody will correct me, I'm sure, but I think they have these like underground tunnels at that whatever college is up there.
Is it?
No, so listen.
Where'd you read that?
It's not like a tunnel. It's instead of like a skywalk, it goes under the roads because the snow gets so bad they would have to cancel school all the time, so that way people can get to classes. Like it's not like a tunnel system,
Like a gerbil tunnel system through Northern Michigan.
Yeah, so I thought that was interesting. Cause could you imagine going to college up there?
Oh my gosh.
Dude, you'd hit the slopes 24/7.
Oh, dude, for sure.
Michigan Tech, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that
that's
is what it is.
So when you went up there, did you get like a cabin?
No, so I didn't know what we were gonna do. I mean, me and my buddy Kyle,
You just took your board?
He's just like me. He's like, let's take the car. We'll sleep in the car.
Yeah,
I love that.
You know, and I am like, my girlfriend thinks I'm so weird, but wherever I go, I'm totally cool with sleeping in the car.
Oh,
dude,
yeah,
I
for
feel,
sure.
Dude, I feel you, bro.
Dude, you're talking to the you come on, you like who you're talking to.
To traveling master. No, like I look at this floor and I'm like, all right, if I were to sleep here, I want whoever to get the bed first or the couch.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But I'm like, I'm not gonna sleep on the floor. I have a comfy seat in my car.
Seriously.
That I can either crack the windows in winter and cool down, or I can blast the heat.
Yep.
You know. So no, I'm super glad I'm like that too, because then you can go anywhere. And you
dude,
just
for
live out
sure.
of your car.
Dude, I 100%. We love that like style of travel. I mean, our Envoy before we had Fran, like oh my god, when we slept, we had like
4 inches.
like just our noses were almost touching the ceiling, but like it's part of the adventure, man.
Absolutely.
Like whenever we visit friends, we're like, oh yeah, you can sleep on the couch or whatever. I'm like, dude, we can sleep anywhere.
Yeah,
Like, you know
yeah,
what
it
I
doesn't
mean?
matter.
Yeah.
But Bohemia, they got like real powder up there. Is like it was a good time.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was the best Midwest snowboarding that I've done.
How long are the runs there?
There's some backcountry ones that take a minute or two to get
Really?
down for sure.
That's cool.
I mean, you're taking breaks to get down because you're shredding through 2 feet, 3 feet of
Really?
powder sometimes.
I want to do that really
Yeah,
bad this
and then
this winter.
that's cool because you can go down as steep as you want, do some like double black diamonds because now you have all that powder. You're not snowboarding on ice.
Right.
Yeah,
Which
oh, yeah.
is, dude, exactly. And I feel like anything around here, that's just kind of how it is. And when you fall, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, snow's not soft. No.
I know.
Yeah. No, it's such a cool trip. So yeah, he really talked it up and it wasn't a letdown at all. We got up there on like a Friday afternoon too. And so we only had like 2 hours to snowboard the first time.
Right.
And it was like snowing and we didn't really get that like prime condition right away just because it was so snowy. And but then it snowed all the way through that night. So there's a big hot tub down there. There's like a 30% hot tub at the bottom. And so we
No
slept.
way.
So yeah, we thought we were going to sleep in the car. We slept in these yurts, which it's basically like this huge tent with a furnace in it. It has a bathroom, like a shower. That's cool. And then a bunch of bunk beds.
A yurt?
Yeah, it's called a yurt. And they just line those all the way like by the mountain where like the lodges and stuff like that. So you literally have food, beer, hot tub, and you're sleeping
that is
in
so
like
cool.
50 feet. You don't have to walk a whole lot.
Yeah, right at the foot of the mountain.
And then the mountain, you're right on the mountain for in the morning.
Really?
So yeah, just a super cool time. I'd recommend it to anybody to go up there.
We need to do that. Take
The UP
Fran
is
up
like a
there.
whole nother world too. Like that's what I love. Like it's like not even Michigan. Like it's something different. I love it.
Not Michigan, not Canada.
Right. It's weird in between land. What is it?
That would be cool. We definitely do have to do a snowboard trip.
Yep.
Little Skroove snowboard retreat.
Yeah,
That would be sweet.
for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think we
covered a lot of bases.
we did hit some great points.
Yeah.
Got to get to know Logan.
Anything else that you'd like to display
I want to know what's next.
for us?
Yeah.
For the brand.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. We just released the podcast,
Yeah.
your guest number 2, and Dawn Patrol, the coffee. So like our goal, our strategy is really just hit the content and just build the brand right now.
Yeah.
We're carried in the 11 stores that we're carried in and just kind of, support them and keep up that relationship, but really focus on growing Skroove, just getting the word out
Yep.
through
Like
social media and just the content and the branding.
We've planned on we've wanted the podcast for a long time and we wanted the coffee for a long time. And it all and we wanted that Muse program, which we started.
Yeah.
So,
Right,
kind of getting to know the models behind Skroove and the challenge of doing a shoot with one outfit is super.
Yeah.
I like that dynamic. And all this was in the works, and it all came into fruition within a month. We're like,
Yeah, it was
screw
it was like 2 weeks. And
It was-
all
it was
happened
just-
before our 500th episode.
We did not anticipate the cost. It literally, we're just like, dude, we're going to buckle down and get this done before our 500th episode of 60 Seconds of Skroove.
Yeah.
So we bought the podcast equipment. We got our coffee up, and we wanted everything done before our 4th birthday, which is next Saturday.
The 18th, November 18th.
So all of our long-term plans, we just said let's just do it. And so now we just want to fine tune, just start kicking out as much content as we can. I mean, you can expect a podcast every other week, and on the in between weeks, we'll have the Muse photo shoots.
that's our goal right now. Is
blog
to,
posts. We're doing a lot more content creation.
Yeah. What episode are you guys on right now for 60 seconds?
Today was 518.
Oh, it was.
Yeah,
But, yeah.
118 days straight.
But this podcast won't get aired probably for 7 days.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, 500 straight days, 500 plus straight
Yeah.
days. It's just that was so. We talked about it and we were like, all right, let's just do it. Let's just do it for a week, daily videos. And
Oh my God. Yeah, we had no clue what we were getting into. It was the one I'd say looking back, that was one of the
Pivotal.
best decisions. That was one of the most pivotal points for our brand. I mean, seriously, that forced us into the content game. And we started, everything was filmed on, we had GoPro Hero 3s or something.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, so we need new cameras. And we had to learn how to do manual shooting on camera. And it literally just forced, okay, we can't use iMovie, we need Premiere. And it forced our editing skills and our tech skills and up our equipment game. And I would say that was probably the most pivotal moment in Skroove's history. So,
I mean, we have a good feeling about just what I mean, social media is just unreal. You know, we just hammer social media, and we can grow the brand. You can grow the brand like so substantially throughout the world through Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. It's unreal. So like, I mean, yeah, that's our goal, is just really concentrated, kick-ass content, kind of on a schedule with a purpose, so people can kind of expect like a Muse every other Monday,
sure. Everything's
podcast
a lot
every
more
other Monday.
structured. But we're living the dream right now. We're going around interviewing people, hearing their story, like learning about them, and doing photo shoots. Like literally, like that's like it's really evolved.
Get to travel and just have fun.
I mean, 4 years later, it's now to the point where we have a system down doing what we love to do. Like it's great. I don't know.
Yeah. What is your? I'm gonna start with Kenny.
Okay.
What is your favorite product of Skroove?
Favorite product? That's a good question. I don't know. I think I might have to say the coffee, and I don't know if that's just because it's new or because like we've wanted it for so long. Like we've talked about that for like a couple of years, having our own consumable, and just like how that fell into place was kind of like unreal, and just kind of just happened like so quickly, and then we finally got it. We didn't think we'd probably have it this soon.
Hang on. We're going to take a quick intermission. And we're back. Sorry about that. Our camera recording time went over, so we have to backtrack a little bit. But we're dragging this podcast on a little longer. Got some beers opened up.
Swapped out the coffee for some brewskis.
That's right. Yeah. And then Logan just threw a question our way, so let's go back to that.
Yeah.
Favorite Skroove product?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So Logan, he put us on the hot seat. He's hitting us with the questions now. Asked us what our favorite Skroove product is. So I would have to say that the coffee, just because we've talked about it for so long, and like a clothing brand that has created their own blend of coffee.
Yeah.
I just think it's super badass. Like having a consumable, you know, like we love coffee, and just kind of like you consume coffee every day, right? Like how we talked about. So I think that's pretty sweet. That's my favorite product right now, is our Dawn Patrol coffee.
Yeah.
Mine is too, for the same reasons. And like, we always did want a consumable product. And because I mean, people initially always thought of us as like, we're like a clothing line, and they always, but like, obviously we want to be much more than that and much bigger than that. And like, one, obviously, you know, we like to try and live healthy lifestyles. We enjoy working out and eating clean. And like, people like drink all their calories and stuff. We're not big pop drinkers, but we love coffee. Like we usually go through 2 pots of coffee a day, which is probably a little too much, but so
might be unhealthy.
we might be taking something healthy and making it unhealthy.
Yeah.
No, but it's like, so we love to consume it, and it's, you know, good for you. It's not like loaded with sugar and stuff like that. And so the way that we were able to, you know, make a product that we made something, a customer for our, customer for our own product, a product for ourselves. So I don't know. And it's just cool to drink your own coffee.
And that kind of helps solidify what we're doing. Like when we first started, it was a clothing company, right? Clothing brand. And as we've done this more and more, like we've realized what we're really doing is just building this brand, creating this brand, and, you know, clothing's the avenue that we sell it through.
Right.
So, you know, coffee helps us kind of grow and have another avenue to sell and purchase our brand through.
Absolutely.
And coffee, I mean, it's just cool. It's just, it kind of brings people together. You know, people can enjoy coffee. They socialize over coffee. It's just a cool little a product that
there's also like a super positive association with coffee. Like people like happy and coffee are like very synonymous. And, you know, our motto is choose happy. So it just kind of, and we always admire Red Bull. It's a brand that
absolutely.
We just, I mean, nobody doesn't think Red Bull's cool. Like we've always admired them, and they put out so much content, and their name's all over everything that's cool and action sports related. So, you know, always saying that they have their consumable, like Red Bull's an awesome product. And we always think it's so cool how you have like Monster and Red Bull, and they're selling a smaller can, less,
like 8.3 ounces for like,
but they're charging more. So like you have Monster, it's kind of like a craft beer, like you're paying more for less, but like, so they take a standard can, which is, I mean, what is it for Red Bull?
Like an 8.4 ounce can
versus
or whatever.
A Red Monster's what?
24 ounces. It's like 2 for $4, or you can get a third for the same amount of.
And it's the same product. I mean, like, you know, if you blindfolded people, I'm sure they wouldn't be able to tell the difference. But people pay for Red Bull because it's cool.
It's brand.
So I don't know. We've always appreciated their model, and it was cool to do that in there.
And I liked what I think Kenny said it before, is that now our customers can start their day with Skroove.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
You might wear a Skroove shirt every other day, or however however often you wear it,
Right.
or your Skroove hat. But like people that are very, very set on coffee every morning, they start their day with coffee right when they wake up, and they're in a good mood.
Right.
you know?
Absolutely.
And they're thinking about Skroove. It's perfect.
Right.
You guys are genius.
I don't know about that. Well, and like you said, you even enjoyed the blend. Everybody's luckily everybody's liked the blend. Like you said, you thought it was
And
really
I'm,
good.
I'm not a coffee drinker.
Right.
Like really, I'm usually, like I told these guys, I am putting a cup of sugar,
Right.
right,
Yeah.
a bunch of creamer in
Right.
it, to make it tolerable. And yeah, this stuff is black and it's going down. I love it.
Dude, that's good. And that's like starting your day with Skroove and things like that. And, traditionally, like a 9 to 5 job, people have to, wear a collar or at least some sort of like uniform or, they have a dress code to follow. And they can't wear a Skroove shirt. But they, like you said, if they enjoy the brand and want to find a way to support it, this is something throughout the work week. And it kind of complements fueling, getting them through the day. So it is cool. It comes
And even
full
with the
circle.
name Dawn Patrol, the meaning behind it, people getting up early, pursuing their passion, working hard, that fuel that kind of helps you get up and do that, and it energizes you. So yeah,
I mean, I would clarify that because everybody always asks. So why Dawn Patrol? Why that name? So I mean, if you want to,
well, yeah, and Dawn Patrol kind of came from like a surfing background, hence the logo and kind of the culture that we love. But it's got a deeper meaning to that. Dawn Patrol, people getting up at dawn, before the sun rises, putting in that work, hustling, grinding,
pursue their passion, whatever
yeah,
that
to
is.
pursue their passion. So that's kind of where that got inspired from.
There's something about that too, getting up, being up that early and being into it too.
Yeah.
I mean, when we did that summer solstice video,
Yeah,
and we
dude.
were out,
Oh my God.
skiing, wake surfing, doing all that stuff as it's getting light out.
Yeah.
It was just bizarre.
It was like magical because
Yeah.
and we'd all been up for quite a bit of time at that point.
Well,
too.
let's dive into because this was a year and a half ago. This was 2016.
So we'll link that video in a description. But
And we really didn't.
We never made the edit. Yeah.
We didn't do much with the footage. Like it became a 60 seconds, but all the cool footage we got, we really never did anything with.
Well, because I mean, think about it. So we did. Well, okay. So what happened was, we loved Rocket Power as a kid. That was one of our favorite cartoons. All these young guys, just out there killing it. Doing all these action sports. So Kenny goes, it was his idea. We want to do something for the summer solstice.
Well, we love the Rocket Power episode
Where
where they like do like 4 or 5 awesome sports in one day, the longest day of the year,
Summer solstice. So we're like, dude, let's do 24 sports in 24 hours, try and set a world record. So like we applied to Guinness Book of World Records before we did it, and we have all the footage as proof. And they're like,
It's too vague.
they said like, I mean, you guys did it, but they don't have like a rule book person out there to verify. So it's like kind of an unofficial world record.
Yeah, that's what we'll say. Unofficial.
Unofficial, we'll call it an unofficial world record. But so we just made a list of the 24 sports we did. And we just contacted each people from like our friend group. We're like, okay, we want to do water sports. So we did skiing, wakeboarding, and wake surfing. So we're like, we got a hold of Logan. We're like, dude, we need you here on these things. And we had different buddies coming in doing different sports with us. But
I mean, it was like just Logan. So we started it was like Sunday, the 21st.
Okay.
Summer solstice was the 22nd.
we'll back up. Our bright minds didn't think, because we knew we were starting at midnight. We
Yeah.
didn't sleep. Because we
Yeah.
we did all Sunday. We didn't think,
Yeah.
we should take a nap first.
Yeah.
So we were up for 12 hours before we started this. So by the time it was said and done, we were up for like 40 hours straight. It was the worst.
So we're from we're from Flint, but we did it on the west side of the state because like just the resources out here,
Right.
The people that were out here. So our buddy Landon luckily let us crash in like their rental house.
Yep, they put us up.
So we stayed out there downtown Muskegon.
Yep.
So from like midnight to like 7 o'clock in the morning, we did like basketballs, croquet,
Glow in the dark croquet.
longboarding, rode bikes, went skimboarding, running. Yes,
The skimboarding was, oh my God, it was so cold.
So that was all like in the dark. And then we met up with Logan.
Yep.
I think at like 7 o'clock in the morning, maybe.
Yeah, it was just
we
getting
led
light.
At the boat launch.
Yep, at like I think it was Muskegon Lake.
Yep.
We met Logan there, and our dad brought our boat.
Yeah.
So we threw our boat in the water, and we hit wakeboarding,
Yep.
skiing, wake surfing, wake skating, and we swam.
That's right. And
Yeah.
oh my God.
So we did 5 sports in the water. Got some killer drone footage. You brought
yeah,
your
you brought the
drone.
drone.
Dude, that was a nightmare.
Dude, it was
that
so windy.
drone was terrible. The day I bought it.
Dude, But we got the footage. We got the shots. It
We
was
did.
windy though.
Yeah.
That was so sketchy too, because that drone would just fly propellers off.
Yeah.
It would just drop onto the ground. And buy a new circuit board for it.
Well, and if I remember correctly, you made a jig for your GoPro to hang on it. Right?
Yeah, you did.
I can't believe we got that drone safely back in the ball.
So it was like from like 7 to noon. Did we spend 4 or 5 hours?
it was an hour of sport.
Yeah.
So
So it was like 7 to noon, and we're on the boat.
Yep.
And we got some Red Bulls, chugging some Red Bulls, and we're already kind of
we had
like
a ton
punchy,
of
we're
Red Bull.
giddy.
Oh my God.
And hit all the sports on the lake. And then you stayed with us for like the next like 6 hours.
Football, wiffle ball, right?
Yeah, where you went golf. We did golf.
Yep.
Oh,
We went golfing. We played like 2 holes of golf.
And then it started raining.
It started raining.
You had the
during
drone
golf.
for that too.
Yep.
That's when we went running, because we went running through like that on that
Trail,
road.
yeah. Yep.
Remember, and
Right
you
on the
flew the
side.
drone.
Yep, that was cool.
We did a couple holes of golf, and you had the drone above the tee box.
That was cool.
Then what else did we do? We played like 2-on-2 football with Landon.
Yeah.
the floor hockey.
The floor
Oh,
hockey.
yeah.
Dude, I suck at that.
That was fun.
We played
dude. That was-
2-on-2. Like, we need to do something with that footage, because there's sweet footage.
Well,
So
that's
it's-
the problem. There's just so.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's a
the
lot of
camera was
footage.
pretty much live for almost 24 hours. You know, I mean, we just need to dedicate the time to editing that.
so our buddy Landon came and met up with us
Yep,
and helped us. So it was like 2-on-2 for
wiffle ball,
wiffle ball.
floor hockey. Oh, we did some skateboarding. I think.
No, we longboarded. I'm doing skateboarding, and then we did like a 2-on-2 football. I think I already said that.
We stayed at that park for a while.
Dude,
Yeah.
that
Well,
park
the
was like the
Muskegon
key
Park
to the
was-
success.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, we did like something with soccer too, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did play
Everything-
like
Soccer
pig.
pig.
Yeah, soccer pig. Yeah.
Everything worked out,
so perfect.
except for our trick shot field goal kicking or whatever we were trying to do.
yeah, what?
That did not work out.
Well, I think it was the soccer. We tried to hit like a pole.
Yeah.
It was like, all right, let's try and do this for
And then it turned
soccer.
into pig.
And it was like, this is way too hard. None of us are good at soccer. We all suck. So let's just like play soccer pig.
So, okay, fun fact for you guys. Our first podcast guest, Randy Patino.
Oh, yeah.
So, 2 sports that we did were boxing and jiu-jitsu. And by the time we got to boxing, I think it was like the 3rd or 4th to last sport.
I think it was 20 and 21.
Yeah.
Because we went from boxing to the pool hall and did bowling, or the bowling alley, did bowling and pool.
That's right.
So it was 20 and 21.
So, we're on like 36 hours of sleep. And we get in the
Without
ring.
sleep.
Without sleep. And we get in the ring with Golden Gloves champ Randy Patino.
Yeah.
And, I mean, God bless the dude, because he was good to us.
Yeah, it was
but-
like 30%.
But I mean, so get this. So there's Randy, and he this guy's just a great boxer. Landon goes first.
Yep.
Our buddy Landon goes.
it was a big guy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he knows how to box and everything,
Right.
you know.
So Landon goes first, okay, and then Randy doesn't get a break. Then Kenny goes, so Landon gets a break, and then Kenny goes. So he did all 3 of us without even taking a break,
Yeah.
Oh my
and just
gosh.
beat the hell out of us. I mean, I never forget he hit me with a liver shot, and I think I still feel it to this day. Kind of tagged me a couple times, so I covered up, and it just kind of came through, and
No
so
way.
I'd like 36, without 36 hours
Yeah.
of sleep or whatever.
Super humbling.
Oh yeah, very very humbling.
Yeah, he was fun to listen to last week. What was it, Monday? That
Yeah,
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 yeah.
dude.
That was a fun one.
Yeah, he did a good job. So, Randy, thanks for hitting me in the liver in the summer solstice video.
But that was sweet. The summer solstice was a lot of fun. And it worked out like so well. Played disc golf too. You had like
Yep.
disc golf
We
that
did
we
darts.
used. Yeah, darts. Played
we did a
darts.
lot.
Then we got lunch while we ate darts.
Yep.
Volleyball.
Yep.
right
Oh,
by-
the volleyball at Unruly
Oh,
Brewing.
right across from Unruly. Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. 2-on-2 volleyball.
Yeah.
Some Misty May and what's the other girl's name? I don't remember.
I was thinking more of Airbud Spikes back.
Yeah. That was sweet. I don't remember how we got on that tangent, but that was a good time.
The summer
That was
solstice.
good. That
I don't
was
know.
good.
Down there with all of our unedited video projects. I mean, dude, so much footage.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know what that's like. You're probably sitting on.
Oh my
so
gosh.
much, and we have so many terabytes worth of
Yeah.
data and video footage that we just never have done anything with. But
Yeah.
that's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
That was a good time. And this summer we got some sweet footage too of
Mm-hmm.
you. We didn't even do anything. We made that 60 seconds of Logan, but we never did anything with the photo shoot and the footage that we got that one time. I don't think.
When?
We made that 60 seconds when we came out and shot our summer line.
Oh yeah.
There's so much footage.
We need to what we need to do is go drop our boat in and do another session sometime. Bring it out on
be
the west
cool.
side of the state and do
Yeah.
all that up.
Yeah, so you guys we talked about Summer Solstice, and that was a super fun time. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that in my mind sticks out huge.
Yeah.
The time we
can't
met
believe we did
sticks out
that.
huge.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys have been with the brand every day. You guys are putting out stuff. You're
Yeah.
putting in the hours. You're putting in work. You guys are super dedicated.
Yeah.
do you guys have any big, like, what's your favorite part that really stands out? You know, whether it might not be your favorite part, it might be something that went totally south. You guys have been with the company now for 4 years. You guys have a lot of experience with every day. You guys are doing something new. So do you guys have memories that just like really stand out?
I think the coolest thing is, it is the coolest thing. Just all the people we meet. Like, it just forces you to get to know so many different parts of like who people are. And like, I mean, we'd always done water sports, but until we got involved with you, to me, wakeboarding is like means so much more to me. Seeing you ride and be like, dude, I pushing me to like get back involved in sports like that, and all of, we get to know these models and like what they're going to school for and like what they want to do with their lives and all these different athletes. I think just meeting all these interesting people it's what fuels the brand. I mean, at the end of the day, Skroove's about pursuing your passion, and it's people like you and all of these athletes that we work with and all these friends that we've made that are out there like hustling. Like you have your normal job and you're still putting in the work to be the best version of you that you can be. It's super inspiring, and that's what motivates me to keep going. It's like, we have all these people behind us and we have a lot of support. So, there's only one way to go.
I don't know if, like, right now I really can't think of a specific moment. Kind of on the spot. I mean, yeah, there's obviously like our birthday last year was fun. The summer solstice was fun. Just like different photo shoots that we've done with like Joe and you and Lexi. And just getting our friends involved and that kind of stuff is fun. But like overall, what I truly love and enjoy is just like the lifestyle that it allows us to live. Like we get to travel and go do fun shit, and it's all for the brand. We're making a daily video, and 60 Seconds of Skroove is our life and what we're doing. So it's just super sweet that it allows us to go out and meet new people.
And still have fun and like do fun things that aren't necessarily just black and white work.
Right. And absolutely, you get to go out and have those experiences. And what's really cool too is with doing 60 Seconds of Skroove, it's like our whole life's documented. Like the last 18 days of our life is documented.
Our mom pointed that out. She's like, you can look back and pretty much see what you've done every day for like the last year. That's wild.
So it's really cool to like see that. And we really don't go back and watch any of the old videos, which we need to like sit down and watch them one day and just be like, oh yeah, I remember that. That was a fun day. But it's cool to like look back and see like, oh, that's what we did,
Right.
And see where we're at, where we came from. And like, it's a good timeline for, oh, we released our summer line like right here, oh, we went and bought a new camera like this day because like that's a 60 Seconds of Skroove when we got like our first AED. It's like, oh, we went and bought like we got our first AED
really see our
like in March or whatever. So it's cool to like see that aspect of it, the documentation.
Yeah, that's really cool. Really cool.
And just even like last night, we were out at the Bob in Grand Rapids, and that was today's 60 Seconds. And it was just like me and Tyler and our friends Jackie and Jenna just going out having a good time. And, we probably wouldn't like typically record that besides on Snapchat. It disappears. But now we have a little like highlight reel of like last night.
And it's real. It's what it was. And we made it into like a little like fun thing. Let's hit every floor of the Bob. And like it just kind of forces you to insert a little creativity and fun into like your everyday life. Like, if nothing else, we have to make sure we get a 60 seconds out. And So,
and I think I speak for a lot of people. I mean, for sure, this is what. So I look back at some weekends and I'm like, man, I wish I had a 60 Seconds of Skroove with that. Or I wish I had. I wish I had a camera just sitting out there, filming that weekend because there's so many fun things. And you kind of like, it's like you wake up or you get together with that group of friends the next time and you all talk about it. Remember? You talk about that day or that weekend, and it's just so much fun. And I think more people have to just get their cameras out and just film. Rather than just like texting their friends or Snapchatting, or, their selves, rather than taking selfies of themselves. Capture what's around you,
and
capture the environment.
Well, it's so weird because everybody like has a great camera in their pocket now. I mean, any iPhone or Sam's.
That's what the whole 60 Seconds was created on last night was straight iPhone.
All shot on iPhone 10. No, but like seriously, like, you always have this. But it's weird because I don't know how I really feel. Because now that everybody has because I was thinking, because we have this film camera Kenny bought that we'll like take pictures on and like it's just cool to do. And back then it's like little things that would go on. And I think people made more of a point to get a picture because they're like, oh, let me get a picture of this. And now I feel like that happens less often because you can always get a picture of it. So it's like you know what I mean? It means less. And people, like you said, they just don't think about it or brush it off as much. But I don't know. It's cool.
Yeah.
What do you enjoy most about being involved with the brand?
I I think it's super cool how you guys always have like new stuff. I mean, obviously you guys started with t-shirts, and that's really kind of how we met, because I asked you how you printed your t-shirts, because in high school,
yeah.
I tried, me and my buddy Logan Vandenheuvel, we tried to start a t-shirt brand, and we built our screen print press out of like 2x4s and trampolines.
The engineer in you, huh?
That didn't work out. But just like, so that's really cool. Just seeing like what you guys will be able to do, or what you guys do to be able to achieve like what you really want to put out in content. I mean, you guys searched out, Kenny, your idea with Summer Solstice. I mean, you guys were like, yeah, it's going to take a lot of work. But a lot of people would be like, yeah, 24 hours. Well, with technology, we can fake that now.
Right.
Do it throughout a week. Hey, I mean, you guys are legit. You guys went from 12 o'clock until 12 o'clock, you know? Yeah. So it's just super cool. I like being involved because of you two. I mean, it's like, I love Skroove as a brand, but Skroove like is you two. Right. I mean, it's the commitment and the passion that you guys have for your brand. And I just can't wait to see where it goes. Like, from day one, when I saw the passion from you guys, you know, driving to wakeboard competitions, that there was like 8 people there. Nothing against Placid, like it's
but
such
it just
a cool
was
place.
what it was.
But I just knew that you guys were gonna like do what it takes, and it didn't take long to really notice that you guys are like a click away from being like big,
right?
You know, which is so exciting for me, and that's why I love just keeping like really updated with you guys, is because I know just like soon, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's a week from now, all of a sudden something's gonna click in one of your heads, out of the 100 things you guys think about a day, and it's just gonna like take off. It's gonna blow up. So I'm excited, and everybody that's involved with Skroove or watching this podcast for the first time, or that starts following you on Instagram, they should be that same way.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
it's cool to have you on board, especially because I mean, you saw us when we were so like young and, you know, undeveloped as a brand, and didn't really have the direction that we knew, you know, where we were going to go. Yeah, you know, all you guys, you know, there's a handful of people who've really stuck with us hard along the way. Which,
it's been there since Serendipity.
It's just,
you know?
it's just true. It's just real, right? So
about Serendipity, how did the name change? And part 2 of the question, how did the duck become the logo?
Okay,
all right, let's start with duck first, because that was kind of the order of operations.
Okay, so the duck. This is we needed a logo, and we're all about like simplicity. We love like Apple, like the simple, like, you know, the simplicity behind their design and their brand. So Kenny suggested, he's like, oh, something about a duck. Like, what about a duck? Like, ducks are cool, and they like, you know, they're chill. Everybody likes ducks, and they go in the water and they fly and they're on land. Like, they're just like this universal, like, chill creature.
I always thought duck would be like a badass logo.
Yeah,
like like we love the Mighty Ducks. Like the cartoon growing up. Like, dude, like that duck looks so cool on their jerseys, right?
Yeah. Right. So we were messing around, and the way the logo was actually originally designed, I mean, it was much different, but in not 3rd grade,
middle school,
7th grade, Mr. Lane was my science teacher, and we were drawing the engineering side of you might know, but like the P waves, S waves, I don't remember what wave it was, but it's the one like where like it keeps going across like the line over and over, and it kind of looks like an infinity symbol. I just would always doodle that like into the duck, like it's very similar to what our logo is. I would just do like that's what I saw when I like in 7th grade. Like,
so it's like a wave.
Yeah, so like the wave, you know, and I always just saw.
But it has a line through it too, right?
Yeah. So I would just like make it into a little duck. Like I would just doodle in class, and I don't know why I saw that, and then he's like, oh, you know, something about a duck, and we wanted something simple, and then I whipped that up, and he's like, dude, that's it.
Yeah.
And
simple, and like we had like a dot for the eye, but then we're like, let's make him like
the eye was the hardest part.
Let's make him winking so he's like happy, because our motto is choose happy.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, I mean, it was just kind of as simple as that. We're like, ducks are cool. Let's create something simple around it, and I mean, really didn't take you too long to come up with that. I don't feel like
the only like difference was the eye was the hard part, and like whether or not to have like little like feet like on the back of it or not.
Oh,
and
really?
Like so we were like, oh, is it? And people like that's the one thing. Everybody like it's just we see it all the time, so it doesn't like register. But people always say like that's a really catchy logo. Like people who see us out and about who have no idea who we are, like, oh, that's a cool logo. What brand is that? And it's so weird like to hear that from somebody.
Yeah.
So that was the duck. The name change, right?
Yep.
So we were like Serendipity before we were Skroove, and we did a lot with craft beer. We don't really do as much now, but like Michigan, a huge craft beer scene. We had Beer Michigan. We had like a Beer Michigan shirt playing on Pier Michigan. and we trademarked Beer Michigan.
We hadn't trademarked our name yet because, like, I mean, it's so expensive. So we were in business for like a year or so, and then when we came up with the Michigan thing, we're like, dude, we need to trademark that because it was unregistered. So
yeah, one of our mentors connected us with his like trademark attorney, got in touch. Yeah.
You guys started Beer Michigan?
Yeah, we own the trademark.
Really? I didn't know that. That's insane.
Yeah. Well, so we looked it up like on the database. We're like, dude, like Beer Michigan is not trademarked, and we're like, dude, this is wild.
Yeah.
So like that like forced us into like, okay, we need to get that, and we're like, well, we're talking to the trademark guy, and he goes, well, if you're gonna do that, like if I can package in your logo and your name, so it's cheaper than filing 3 separate things. So we're like, all right, great, let's do it.
Yeah.
It's trademark Serendipity, Beer Michigan, and our logo. And like they do like searches and everything before you submit your trademark because like they submit your trademark to the USPTO, the United States Patent and Trademark Office. Yep. And if you submit it and it's already there, like already taken, then you just lose all the money or whatever.
Yeah, because like I mean, so he looked it up and he goes, well, there are other like there's like boutique shops with Serendipity. The spelling's a little different, but that doesn't really matter. And he goes, so we could submit this and there's a chance it goes through.
Well, he goes, probably not. There's like other clothing brands,
right?
And we spelled ours with like 4 I's.
Okay,
change the spelling,
but it didn't really make a difference. So
yeah.
We knew the risk was high. Like you file it, you pay the money, and if the USPTO is like no, then you're out and there's no refund. So, and when we started, we didn't know a lot about like branding and stuff. But Serendipity, we were never truly in love with that name, and it was like long, like Grit Apple,
4 syllables.
Coke. Like good brands are like concise and easy to say.
1 or 2 syllables.
So like after we've been branding for a while, like dude, we need something tight, concise, and Skroove was born.
Yeah, so it came about because a lot of people ask this question. Skroove, he was like, all right, what you should do is I'd come up with like, make up a word if you can.
Yep.
Because if you trademark a word that's made up, nobody else is going to have it. Yep. So like spring break, we came up with a nickname for a beer. It was called a Scroober. Our one buddy, we were like, all right, let's just call a beer a Scroober. I was like,
I think you just like reached in the cooler, like, hey, pass me a Scroober.
Well, we were like, dude, let's like think of a nickname for a beer or whatever. Like, I don't know how it came about. And Brian was like, oh, dude, Scroober. And I'm like, that is a sweet name. So we started calling like a beer Scroober.
All spring break.
Rest of spring break.
Yep.
And then our one cousin, Russell, went to Full Sail and was like a recording engineer. So he had a bunch of like.
He had a beat lab, man.
Yeah,
like
and audio equipment. There's a beat lab in our aunt and uncle's place that we went to spring break with. So we made a rap. This and our one cousin Kurt called it Kurt Diss, and we were the Groovy Scroovers. Was like our band.
That was our band name.
Us 5. Tyler made a beat on just.
It's a little arpeggio loop. It's like
just made this little beat on GarageBand, and we just like made fun of our cousin Kurt. You know, just
it was a huge like roast, and it was hilarious.
It was hilarious. So like Groovy Scroovers, and we always thought that name was like kind of sweet. You know, we're like, you ever start anything like a record label like Groovy Scroovers? That's what it is. So when it came time to just think of a trademark name, we were like, dude, Scroover, that's sweet. And like looked into the spelling, we like messed around with the spelling, checked websites. We like the word like groove, groovy. You know, what's your groove in life? Like, you know, what kind of makes you tick? What's your thing? And we just kind of came up with Skroove. We combined Skroove.
It was almost Scroovy. It was almost Scroovy.
Really?
Yeah, but Skroove is so much better.
Perfect. I love it.
So we just combined Scroober and the word groove.
Yep.
And created Skroove. So yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
We'll take a brief pause here and reset our equipment. All right. And we're back from that short break. So since we're all in the end of content creation and filming and, you know, in that ecosystem, and you said that's the direction you wanted to go, if you could make like a short film or a movie with like any all-star like cast and crew, like what would your film be about?
What would your story be?
And who would you want to be a part of it?
So there's this thing on YouTube. I mean, you guys might have seen it, but it's called like People Are Awesome. Every year they come out with a new People Are Awesome. Right. And that's cool because not only do you get to see, I mean, regardless of what you're into, you're going to see something on that clip of somebody just doing something insane. Yeah. You know, stuff just like the weirdest stuff like, oh, yeah, did that guy can ride a unicycle? But now this dude's doing like flips on a unicycle.
Right,
like the dude that does like a double front flip on a wheelchair. You're like, what?
That's wild.
So that would be.
YouTube curates that?
I don't think YouTube makes it, but it's just
on. That's the platform.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that video I'd love to create. You know, you meet so many people. Yeah. It's not like you get to see the best of wakeboarding. It's cool too because you get to see a lot of not a lot of sports that get like edits done, like football.
Less mainstream.
You know, they have some crazy football catches and stuff like that on it. And it's just a video that captures so many different passions and so many different sports. Yeah. And you'd get to meet so many different people. Right. And imagine talking to everyone in that video.
Dude, that would be,
you know, it'd just be so cool.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people in that video are amateurs too. You know, this is just something that they do because they love it.
Yeah,
and they're not even doing it full time.
Yep.
It's like the dude that loves like wingsuit gliding, just like on the weekends or whatever, and like hits this insane route, you know.
Yeah. Even like parkour runners. If you would have told somebody like 20 years ago that, dude, internet's gonna be filled with people just running around doing spins off,
making a living,
and stuff like that. Yeah, making a living. But you watch this stuff and it's just mesmerizing.
Yeah, dude. Some of the most wild stuff I see on the internet, which like kind of just blows my mind, is what people can do on skateboards.
Oh my god!
Like I think that like physically, like some of that stuff, like how is it even possible?
Doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, like how do you like conceive that, and how do you actually create that and like put that into action?
Yeah, I mean, people. That's the interesting thing about the internet. I mean, like growing up, you had like all these guys that were pushing boundaries, like Tony Hawk. What was the 900? The fit, like what was the big? You know, and which was sweet. And now the internet is this medium that you think like you have stuff mastered, and then you're like, my God, these guys are, and then it's forcing you to one up your game because it's just like.
There's like new shit.
There's just there's just
boundaries.
And you can like search any topic and see, and it's kind of forcing people to. I mean, eventually, you know, when does it stop? Right? You know what I mean? When does the mile? You know, it was like the 4-minute mile. It was impossible, and then it happened, and then like a week later, or whatever it was, you know, 14 other guys broke it. You know, so the internet's just progressed people so far. What about you though, as far as a movie or a
I don't know. That's like something me and Tyler have talked about, is creating like a short film. Enter it in a film festival. I think that'd be sweet with a cool little storyline. I don't know. I think some sort of like action comedy would be hilarious to create. As far as cast, I don't know who I'd have for a cast.
Wait, let me adjust the question. If you could have, let's say, you know, you live a successful life and they make a movie about you. If you could have one actor play you in your life,
oh my gosh,
who would it be?
You go first.
Oh man,
I'd probably pick Charlize Theron to play me.
just so I can meet her.
That's awesome.
I don't know. I feel like somebody like Mark Wahlberg or like James Franco would be sweet,
dude.
You know,
love that guy.
I think Tom Cruise. I'd pick Tom Cruise.
Really?
That guy'd be awesome.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. No. I've got asked that question, not that exact question, but something like that. And Travis Pastrana.
Really?
Every time.
Dude, that would be sweet.
He's just so, out there.
He's the man.
I mean, yeah. He's just so much different stuff.
Yeah.
That he just goes for.
Yeah, for sure.
What would you create a short film about?
I don't know. I love movies, obviously. Like I'm a huge movie buff, and I think just trying to convey like a super deep message in a very short period of time would be like super interesting. Like I love movies that leave you thinking, and kind of create that like a new thought train for you. So I think trying to do that in like less than 30 minutes, you know, that just a rewatchable thing that, you know, has something based off principle.
Yeah.
That would be really interesting.
All right. Top 5 movies.
Oh,
what do you got, Logan?
Well, I've always been a fan of the Fast and the Furious.
Okay.
It blows my mind that people haven't seen any of them because there's 8 of them now.
Yeah.
And they're gonna make 10 of them.
Yeah, I know.
So Fast and the Furious is definitely on the top one. Gosh, when Lone Survivor came out, that was
dude,
a cool,
amazing,
amazing video. That's 2 of mine.
I'm a Tarantino buff. I love Tarantino. I like Kill Bill Part 1 and 2. It's just such a great story of revenge, and it's so many subliminal references in there to like old movies, and Kill Bill's definitely up there for me. I don't know.
That's it.
Yeah.
To Kill Bill. All right. No, like it fluctuates for me, but not in the particular order. But Shooter, love that movie with Mark Wahlberg, dude. It's like one of my favorite all-time movies. Could watch it over and over again. Adjustment Bureau, I think that's a sweet movie. Tropic Thunder, I love Tropic Thunder. That movie is so hilarious, dude. You have to watch it.
And Any big person?
Yo, dude, yeah, Ben Stiller.
It's an all-star cast.
Robert Downey Jr., Jack Black. Yeah,
it's Kenny Powers. Who plays Kenny Powers?
Danny McBride. Yeah, it's a movie about them making like a Vietnam War movie.
Really? It's a movie about a movie, dude. It's wild.
Matthew McConaughey's in it. Tom Cruise is in it. Yeah, it's got a huge cast, and it's on Netflix.
It's like a huge parody, but
a lot of
it's
people
amazing.
hate it, but it's super funny.
Like most people hate it.
Yeah.
We think it's just the driest shit.
Yeah.
Like it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is so funny.
I'm gonna steal this. So like Tim Ferriss, we love his podcast. So a purchase that you've made recently under $100, it's like heavily affected you. Like what's something that you might have bought recently that?
Shoot, under $100. If you guys got an idea, you guys should go first because I don't.
It's just over $100, but that lens we bought.
Yeah.
What are the specs on that?
Yeah, like 1.8.
Yeah, it's got a 1.8 f-stop, and it's
50 millimeter, I
Yeah,
think.
it's a fixed lens, but it's like $125, and the depth of field is amazing. And like,
Yeah.
if you shoot on DSLR, I don't think
This
there's
is
a better.
Canon
It's a
lens.
Canon lens. Like, just the value is outstanding.
Really?
Yeah, low light's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah, it's just a
1.8
great
f-stop.
lens.
And, got it from Best Buy. That was a good purchase.
Shout out to Best Buy, right?
Shout out,
They made this brought to you by Best Buy.
shout
All
out
this
to
equipment.
Founders All Day
Yeah.
IPA,
Yeah, no
dude.
kidding.
Logan hooking us up. We dug
Yeah.
into the beers in his fridge.
Absolutely. We got a few different ones coming out next.
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
Got something good.
We got some from Michigan and then some from Wisconsin.
Oh, and back in
Oh,
the
I
hometown, eh?
Yeah.
I saw that in the fridge. The like Nuclearius, is that what it's called?
That's right. Yeah.
So, what about a book? Is there a book that you like would gift to a lot of people, or that has a lot of rereading value? Or, I mean, is there any particular book that you would recommend to, I don't know, colleagues, friends, family?
I'm not a huge reader. I'm really not. I'm more of a visual learner. I love movies.
You like movie day in
AKA
elementary school when they pushed cart on the big TV. That was the day.
Yeah.
AKA Logan can't read.
No, that's not a lie. I'm not the best at it. I struggle pretty hard. No, I got this book about the CEO of Apple. Blanking on his name.
Tim Cook, current CEO.
No. What's the dude of
Jobs?
Apple?
Steve Jobs?
Steve Jobs.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
No, that's a great book. I read that.
So bought that. That was kind of the first book I think I've ever read.
Like really got into
Really?
all the way
like,
through it.
outside
Yeah.
of school.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely. And that was just such a cool book. Yeah. I mean, you look at Apple as such a successful company, you know, for so long too. It's not like they just popped up last year. They've been around for so long, and you get to see. They have, what is it on Netflix? The documentary about it.
Dude, with the Ashton Kutcher?
Yep.
Dude, that's a great movie.
Or that movie.
Well,
Yeah.
and they're one of the most cash-rich companies in the world. I think I haven't looked in a while, but I think at one point they had like $50 billion in like liquid assets. It's unbelievable, dude. Those guys are nuts. But yeah,
Yeah, and I don't use iPhone. I use Android. Even my computer for the longest times were HP and Dell. And then I wanted to get serious with all my filming equipment and stuff like that. And that's when I bought my
that beautiful iMac over there.
yeah. Just got taught how to airdrop.
Dude, AirDrop is the greatest thing for,
Pretty cool,
for
yeah, it's
videos because I mean, like files.
People are always like, how do you guys get your like videos and photos onto Instagram or just on your phone and airdrop every single piece
you
of
have to worry
content?
about like email. Like you only have so much like Google Drive space and all
Dude,
that.
and the beautiful thing is like we're traveling, we're in the van or the car, like editing a video or you need to make a post or something, and you don't need Wi-Fi, you don't need internet.
You just AirDrop it. It's
You just
beautiful.
airdrop it right to your phone.
Yeah.
And it's like done.
Yeah. With Fran, I got a question about Fran.
Here we go.
You guys have got to have like some time where you're laughing. You're like, can you believe that like we're in this van?
Dude, it happens so often. Like we'll just be driving down the road and the hula girl Layla is just dancing back and forth. And you know, we got the radio going because we don't have like an aux cord in there, so it just kind of takes you back.
Like channel surfing.
Yeah, we're channel yeah, exactly.
Because like we're traveling, like we don't know the local stations,
Absolutely.
right?
So we have to, you know, we're just, and it's just, I think like it really hits like when you lay down at night and you're like, dude, we're like in a van, like in a sweet location, doing a photo shoot with somebody or interviewing somebody or, you know, meeting with new prospects. And it's like,
this is sweet.
you know, like, I mean, thanks to you guys, like you and everybody who listens and supports, like it's able to make us a full-time job. And I mean, to think like I just graduated college in May, to walk away from that and not have to get a quote unquote real job and be able to travel in a big white van and pursue
Graduating
what I
debt free
love.
thanks to the parents too.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
It's, I don't know, dude, it's a dream come true. So sometimes we'll just be like, damn, dude, I can't believe we're doing this.
And it's like when we like, don't drive it for a week. We drive the car around, save on gas, and we get on it for a trip, and it's been a week or two. It's like, all right, yeah, this is awesome.
Okay, that is another thing. Like we really only drive it when we travel because it's 10 miles a gallon on gas. It's terrible.
Absolutely.
So like when we finally get into it, and you just get in that seat.
And we just kind of, we do giggle like when we like get up to like walk in the back, and like this feels like the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, dude, seriously, 'cause, like when you're driving, you can just climb back there and shit. And we just got a CB radio, which I love.
So we
I
can
love
talk to
dude, while we're
truckers,
driving.
yeah.
You got some code names, and you just, dude, it's I don't know, it's.
I've always thought that would have been like so cool to have a van and convert it,
Yep.
and like just how that happened too. Like just no such thing as coincidence. We get in a car accident on the highway with our Envoy,
Total it.
and
Yeah.
total it perfectly fine. The other guy that hit us perfectly fine, and we use that money, the insurance money and money that we've been saving through the business, and get the van, and like worked out so perfectly.
Yeah.
And like before our 4th birthday, we had like this converted van that we travel around in.
It was a dream
It's
come
legit.
true, and
That's super cool.
like we almost settled. Is that blog post up? On
Yeah,
Fred?
yeah.
So you can read the full blog post, but we almost bought like a van that we didn't really want because we were just like we only had one car. We had to buy something, and it didn't have tilt steering, and it didn't have cruise control, and it didn't have that like elevated roof like ours has.
Yep.
And we like almost bought that, and we didn't settle, and like that was the greatest decision we ever made, and it was just
Drove down to Ohio, got the van that we have now.
Yeah, I was gonna say you guys drove a little ways. For
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah, that was dude. The ride back, we couldn't believe
Yeah.
it. We were so like giddy, like dude. Also, we're like, dude, we have a giant van, and like,
The guy that we bought it from too, Troy, like the used car salesman there, like his family's dealership. We like told him, right, like dude, we're making like we do videos, like we're making a video of this, like you want to be in it? He's like, oh dude, yeah, for sure,
man.
So like that 60 seconds, you have to check that out. When we bought the van, because we paid like straight cash with it, had a briefcase like handcuffed to our hand,
no way.
paid the dude. Yeah, it was hilarious.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was a great experience. So yeah, I mean, honestly, anytime we get in it for a trip, we get like this like childish, kiddish little smile. It's like, dude, just a couple of guys driving around in the van.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just like crashing Walmart parking lot, throwing on like Netflix. Like, oh, this is sweet.
Yeah, we went fall asleep to a movie at night, and now we haven't done it yet, but on the road we can make our own coffee, like drink our own coffee out of our van that we're traveling in.
So back up like 2 minutes. You
Yeah.
said just graduated or just got done with school. I don't even think I know if you like. What did you guys kind of go to school for?
So we both went to school at SVSU, and we got a double major in marketing and business management.
Okay.
So we're business guys, but like it's so weird. Even like choosing SVSU, he already went there, and obviously we're super close. So in high school, like it was time to start like touring colleges.
Yep.
So like the counselor was like, oh, you got it. You set up those like tours and
Yeah.
different things like that. And my mom was like, oh, where you're thinking. And Kenny called me one day. He's like, hey, dude, like you should come to SVSU and live with me. I'm like, yeah. And I never even toured it was that. Like that was the extent of it. I never went
Right.
to another college, never toured another college. It goes, yeah. So I ended up going to SVSU, and we lived together off campus, and that was just one of the best experiences of my life, getting to live. I just skipped right past the dorms, and we went out and had our little apartment off campus, and dude, it was just
Good times.
It was great, and he goes, well, I'm going to school for marketing management. I'm like, yeah, that seems like a good idea. But before I had went to college, it was my senior year of high school. He gave me a call one day. I remember I was running the school store at the time, and so we were on our lunch, and Kenny called me. He goes, hey, dude, you got a second? I'm like, yeah. And I was concerned because he called me at school. Because
Right.
I don't know how phone policies are now, but like when I was still in high school, like you didn't use your phone in school.
No.
So he knew I was on lunch, so I took him. Like, yeah, dude, I can talk. So he's like, well, what do you think about starting a business? And I'm like, I'm a senior in high school. Like, I'm like, well, what do you mean? He's like, dude, we should do something. Like, I'm a sophomore, which is when you typically look for internships. He goes, I'm getting emails, like start looking for an internship. The parents are suggesting, what do you want to do? Start building connections. He goes, dude, I can't see really working for somebody. We need to do something that, can fuel our passions. And he goes, what do you think about a brand of clothes? And I'm like, first off, trying to take all this in. Like, I'm on my lunch break trying to eat my sandwich.
You're in a drive-through.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, dude, I think a brand of clothes would be awesome. And like, that was that.
Yeah.
And then the major, he was going to school for business. So, that made sense. And
Just pulled the trigger and just did it.
Yeah. So so it just all made sense, and I think that forced us to like, I don't know if it forced me to like focus in class, because not that like I could like dig into a lot of the concepts, because my mind like when I'm sitting in class was always on my business.
Yep.
But it forced me to like apply like a concept if there was something that I could take home with me on that, and maybe forced me to be a little better in our financial stuff. I'm sitting in an accounting class, I'm like, oh, net 30 terms, maybe we could get that, and we did, and like that helped with our cash flow. And then in finance we learned about cash flow, and so like it all just came together so well.
I mean, the greatest thing that we got out of college too was like the people we met, the connections.
100%. Yep.
Is unreal. Like that's what's helped us grow the brand into what it is today. The mentors and just the people and just like the life experiences that we had. In college. You know,
because Landon went to
Yeah, he's my roommate,
right?
And it's
that
just-
was your roommate.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So when he graduated,
We
we had a couple spots to fill. So my best friend from high school lived with me. So we had 2 spots to fill, and I got to know Landon over the years, and it's like, dude, do you want to live with me? He's like, yeah, of course. So he took Kenny's old room, so he kind of filled that slot, and so then Landon and I roomed together the last 2 years of school, and we had a great time. It was fun.
That's super cool. That like, not only are you guys such good friends, but like business partners. You know, you don't get that a whole lot in brothers. I mean, I'm close with my brother. You guys are close, but I mean, that's not a lot. You usually butt heads with family that close or brothers that close in age. And that's super cool to see both of you guys just thrive off each other.
That's cool. My mom made a funny comment the other day. She goes, I got to give you guys a lot of credit. You spend more time together than married people. She goes, in a marriage, one or more of them goes off to work.
Yep.
So you have, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours apart. And then you guys wake up, get to work,
Sleep in the same room.
Yeah, we share a bedroom.
In the same van.
Dude,
In the same van, in our bedroom.
We're like
office.
never ever.
You know?
She goes, you spend more time together than a married couple, and never ever argue or really fight, because it's really not normal, but like in a good way. Like, and I'm like, yeah, God, that's kind of wild. So
Well, like the thing is though, is like we really in like business, like we see it just when we have meetings and everything. Like our strengths, we play off each other's strengths and weaknesses really
it's
well.
a match made.
You know,
just
through in meetings, like we said, and just daily business activities.
What I lack in, he picks up, and vice versa. Like, I'm truly unstoppable when we have to be. And
Absolutely.
I believe nothing's an accident. It all just worked out. And we were blessed with a lot of gifts, and we're just gonna keep getting after it.
Yeah, it's cool. It's really cool.
Cool.
That's a good time.
I don't know if we have any more to talk about right now.
I don't know. I need another beer and get some food in here soon.
I'm hungry.
I think that was killer, though. It was a great second
absolutely.
episode. Followed up well.
Well, thanks for being episode number 2, Logan.
Absolutely. Yeah, thanks for having me.
So this is live on iTunes. This will be on the iTunes podcast app. It'll be on YouTube. It'll be on our website, SoundCloud.
And we're working on getting it on Stitcher, which I believe is what Android users use as
And then
well.
Spotify is in the works right
Yeah,
now,
we're working on
too.
Spotify.
So
Cool.
be sure to join us next time.
And subscribe if you enjoyed it.
Leave a rating.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Logan. Appreciate it, buddy.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank
Thank
you,
you, guys.
Logan. Absolutely.
Cool.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. All episodes of What's Your Skroove are available on our website, www.skroveco.com. Be sure to subscribe and leave a rating. And as always, there are free stickers available at skroveco.com. We'll see you guys next time.